Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. To everybody that wanted a video of me under anesthesia, see today's outro. First up today, no, Elon is not buying Manchester United. This was 2 days ago, but it's a pretty big deal because this approval is what's going to allow Giga Texas to hopefully in the future become a net zero facility. The Switchyard and the battery energy storage systems have been approved.
The most exciting development today on the site, and that is the resumption of work at the new permanent electrical substation. And what you are seeing here is trenches being installed in a grid pattern, and in these trenches will be grounding straps, and it will underlie the entire electrical substation, and it is what the crews will use to ground all of the equipment. So here are some overlays to help guide you to this area. You can see the new permanent substation location and the temporary substation location. On the left side, you can see the water detention pond, and on the right side where the Megapack construction site will be.
No details were given in terms of the size, how many megapacks will be installed, or the storage capacity. However, earlier this year, Tesla did upload this video of its Megapack site in Angleton, Texas, 81 megapacks, 200 megawatts of energy storage. This website from the Department of Energy may be one to bookmark, as this should be updated with which vehicles are actually qualifying for the EV tax credits. Now, when you go to this page now, remember this is for the old EV tax credits. So for the duration of this year, the list you're about to see is the vehicles that should be eligible. However, it does tell you to confirm with the VIN, and there are further instructions on the site how to do that. The requirement for the vehicles being manufactured in North America go into effect yesterday, August 16th, and all of the new provisions like battery materials, components, etc. will go into effect starting January 1st, 2023. There are only 21 vehicles listed that should be eligible for the remainder of this year for manufacturers that have not met the sales cap. Remember, for the rest of this year, 2022, we're still operating under the old EV tax credits where Tesla has indeed already met the cap and is not eligible. So Tesla won't be eligible in any fashion until January 1st, 2023. And here is the rest of the chart. For companies like Rivian and Lucid where customers had deposits, the IRS said if a customer has made a non-refundable deposit or down payment of 5% of the total contract price, it's an indication of a binding contract. So if the math checks out, it looks like those Rivian or Lucid holders will be eligible if they do enter into one of these binding contracts. Reuters noted it's 2024 when EV buyers can actually transfer the credit to the dealer to take advantage of the point of sale credit rather than having to wait until tax time. I just want to highlight, although the Chevy Bolt is not eligible for the tax credit for the rest of this year because GM already hit the manufacturer cap, if this vehicle qualifies next year, there could be certain trim levels under $20,000. Remember, this is a market where it's pretty much a blue ocean, not much EV competition, especially in the United States. This is possibly a huge opportunity for the Bolt to compete in a market where Tesla's not yet competing in that sub $25,000 category. Now, to the question of if they're making money on this vehicle is a whole nother story. However, both Sandy and Sue seem to think that the Chevy Bolt around $20,000 overall is a very good deal. To the 4.3% of you that watch my videos from Australia, I just want to say congrats on the Model Y. And you know what they say, the best things in life are worth waiting for. If you've never looked before, on Tesla's website, they have a new and a used inventory. Now, according to Waiting for Tesla, it looks like Tesla is restricting what state you can live in to actually buy some of these new inventory vehicles. So wherever the vehicles are located, you have to be in that state or one of the surrounding states for the new inventory. It should be noted, so far this is only for the Model 3 and the Model Y in the United States. So far the Model S and Model X still have no restrictions. As far as why Tesla would do this, of course, you could presume that Tesla wants to save on shipping and logistics costs, which is definitely a pain. However, as far as I know, usually the consumer is actually paying those shipping costs. So maybe it's Tesla just wanting to limit the resellers and giving them less optionality in terms of buying vehicles and then later flipping them for a profit. Tesla's opening up a 4th showroom in Austin, and this one is pretty big. It'll be a $1.5 million renovation in a 52,000 square foot building. If you're familiar with the area, it's 2023 Ridge Point Drive in Austin, and this will be a 1-story building. Construction is set to begin September 26th, and the tentative completion date, February 28th of next year. You have to be very careful with these though. If you go into one, you're liable to come out with a new Tesla or a strong desire to have one. As of August 15th of this year, all Model Ys built will now have rear brake calipers from ManU. Previously, they were from Brembo. The Drive Tesla Canada DTC source said, Tesla says you're not going to notice this change. There's no visual differences with the new ManU calipers. ManU is also already supplying the rear brakes on both the Model S and X. If there was going to be a performance benefit, they probably would have mentioned it, so this seems like either a supply chain thing or lower cost for Tesla. If you're new to EVs, remember brakes are not as important relative to ICE vehicles because of the regenerative braking where you don't even use the brake pads. Great tweet from our friend Alexandra, still pleading with S&P and Moody's to finally raise Tesla to investment grade. She's talking about Altman Z-scores. This is a metric created by NYU professor Edward Altman, I think around the 1960s. Basically, after the equation is calculated, numbers closer to zero mean that that company has a higher likelihood of an impending bankruptcy, and typically companies with an Altman Z-score above 3 are in good financial health. This chart that Alexandra shared kind of highlights the absurdity of these investment grade ratings. So this is a list of companies that have defaulted in the past, when they did, and this in the red is what their Z-scores were in the year of default, 1 year prior, etc. As you can see, all of them around that zero mark. But look at this, the credit rating at the time of default for these top 4 companies were actually investment grade in the purple. This right here is the equation for the Altman Z-score. As you can see, there's these different letters that are given different weightings, and each different letter represents a different ratio for the company. Working capital to total assets, retained earnings to total assets, and so on and so forth. Go ahead and take a screenshot if you'd like. I just want to highlight this does not account for cash flow, so that's one limitation of the Altman Z-score. The creator of this metric, Edward Altman, analyzed a few hundred companies between 1970 and 2000, and this metric had around a 90% accuracy. Now there's more nuance to this story. Originally, it was companies under 1.8 that were looking like they're heading toward bankruptcy. Now it's companies closer to zero, but that's enough for now. For some context, GM's Altman Z-score 1.14, Toyota 1.66, Ford 1.27, and Tesla 20.21. If you really want to nerd out, I'll link this video below. Edward Altman himself did a 50-year retrospective on this metric, so it'll be linked below. To put a cherry on top, a Mercedes executive just told the Surfing Skin doc that Tesla has won. No one will be able to keep up with the infrastructure. It's over. It looks like last night, for a brief moment, Tesla may have accidentally released a Supercharger membership for non-Tesla EV owners. While it was live, there was a pay-per-use plan or a membership. Now, the membership was listed at 99 cents per month. That seems too low, so whether it's $9.99 or that was just a placeholder, only time will tell. Of course, the idea behind this monthly membership for non-Tesla owners is to get a lower price per kilowatt hour. We won't get into further detail because remember, this feature has been taken down. It may have been an accident. However, Sawyer did point out that Electrify America charges $4 per month for their membership. So is Tesla going to try to come in under that? We'll see. To everyone who is stressed out about this, I would just say 2 things. First, I'm pretty confident Tesla is only going to roll out this supercharger availability to non-Teslas in areas first where there is not crazy demand. So I don't think the already busiest supercharger locations are going to be the first ones that become open to the non-Tesla public. Second, from a Tesla stock owner perspective, this is a home run. Not just because right now customers of non-Tesla chargers are not happy. There are many studies showing that around a quarter of the public chargers available aren't actually working. How many of this cohort, when they use a Tesla supercharger and use the Tesla app and get the Tesla experience, are going to start to think to themselves, wow, Tesla's doing this really well. I wonder what their vehicles are like. And more importantly, for Tesla to actually get some of these federal funds available to actually expand the supercharger network hopefully faster, they have to open them up to non-Teslas. So I definitely understand the trepidation around this. However, for me, I think this is a net positive in the long run. Just to prove that I'm not just being biased here, JD Power just came out with its latest charging study. And the results, Tesla destination chargers ranked highest among level 2 charging stations with a score of 680. Tesla Superchargers ranks highest among DC fast chargers with a score of 739, and it's the only DC fast charger brand to rank above the industry average. Over 11,500 people were surveyed in the first half of this year. So for level 2 charging stations, Tesla destination chargers in the #1 spot, followed up by Volta and ChargePoint in second and third. Then for DC fast chargers, you have Tesla Superchargers in first with 739 points. The segment average was 674. Then you have ChargePoint, Electrify America, and EVgo at the bottom of this list. This right here was also 2 days ago, but it kind of marks the end of an era, with Dodge ending the Charger and Challenger, two very popular brands set to be discontinued by the end of next year. The Charger and Challenger names could be used for future EVs, including a forthcoming electric muscle car in 2024. Part of the reason this is happening because Dodge's parent company Stellantis ranks the worst among major manufacturers for US corporate average fuel economy and carbon emissions. Duke Energy has teamed up with Ford and the F-150 Lightning to create a vehicle-to-grid pilot. Duke Energy, a utility company, has filed a petition for a new pilot program with the North Carolina Utilities Commission. This program is intended to help lower vehicle lease payments for eligible EVs, including the F-150 Lightning. The initial pilot program is set to be up to 100 people. Both GM and Ford have publicly come out saying that the latest price hikes are not related to the inflation tax credit, and I believe them, one, because GM isn't even eligible due to the manufacturer cap right now, and Ford has told us that the Mach-E is not profitable, so the real time to watch these prices will be what happens next year and beyond. We talked about this a few weeks ago, but Ford is set to sell another round of new green EV bonds. No details given in terms of the amount. However, the proceeds will be used for EV R&D and of course to make more EVs. It looks like BMW is doing some testing to electrify its very popular M series lineup. In terms of full EV models right now, BMW has the iX, the SUV, and the i4, and we have the i7 sedan set to come to the USA and China in 2023. This is a very big deal for BMW, as in 2021, a total of 163,500 M series cars were delivered to customers. On that note, it looks like BMW is preparing to get some 4680 cylindrical cells from EVE in Europe. This would be for a new series of electric vehicles to hit the market in 2025. Not much other detail given, but BMW did say it plans to release some battery-related news in early September, and right now BMW has mostly been using prismatic cells. If you guys remember the Polestar 02 concept car, well, awesome news, as they are now confirming this is going to become a production vehicle. Yes, we'll have to wait until 2026, but it's coming. Honestly, I was kind of hoping for some more impressive statistics considering a 2026 release. However, they're talking about 884 horsepower, an 800-volt architecture, and a 0 to 62 in 3.2 seconds, top speed of 155. There will be a limited edition LA concept where only 500 of those will be made. Now, when it comes to the styling, be honest with me. What do you think? Personally, I think it's pretty sweet. It looks like the head of Tesla's legal team, David Searle, has left the company and he's been replaced by Dina Eskin. If you guys remember when we talked about that purchasing probe for that special glass that Omiyad Afshar was involved in, well, apparently David Searle was kind of conducting that investigation and now he's left the company. All you need to know though, this position has been somewhat of a revolving door for Tesla over the last 3 or 4 years. Tesla's had 4 different lawyers in this position since the last full-time general counsel, Jonathan Chang, left at the end of 2019. Last up for today, I won't play the audio due to potential copyright, but some engineers at Giga Shanghai apparently learned how to do one of these light shows, and they did it for Elon's song, Don't Doubt Your Vibe. I'll have a link below. And as promised, here's my special outro, Under Anesthesia. See if you can highlight the mistake that I made twice. Because some of you asked for a video of me under anesthesiology, I figured I would oblige. You're not gonna get anything super exciting because I'm not super loopy. I did just want to tell you guys though that I watch a ton of YouTube and I look at a lot of communities and comments, and I would tell you this, completely normal, not under anesthesiology, but you guys are genuinely one of the best communities I've ever seen across YouTube. Some others may have higher numbers and stuff, but I just want you guys to know that I genuinely appreciate all of you. I think it's awesome. You guys are awesome, and I love you all. So thanks for all the support, and I'll see you soon.